Okay, so we're back with pre, and and I do talk a lot about motion and stuff, but you do want him to have an understanding of remaining stationary, because you're not going to be able to run around all the time. If you're saying for a companion dog or whatever. So my job is to just suddenly reward that because it occurred. My job is not to say down. My job is not to pull it down. I know everybody doesn't have the amount of time I have, but if you can allow it to occur naturally and just do that, it's a better sequence. Because if you have a dog and you say down, and then it kind of turns its head or acts sour, that's... All right, so watch. This is how I got the dog to do it. Here's my hands here. This hand is going to drop. That's going to give him the suggestion of laying down. It was giving him a minute ago. Crystal's like... No, just, but again, this is your job. My job is, now I can repeat the sequence. He's thinking. But it's, if you said that's like I just randomly did that earlier and he laid down, so that's what I'm doing. I need to do everything in my power. He's fighting it. And I'm just going to tell you, he's fighting the idea. So if he's fighting the idea, he would be fighting me. He's fighting himself. That's what I want you to understand. He's fighting himself. My job is to look as much like I'm doing it as possible. And let's keep the freight train rolling. Let's, because this is not occurring to him. It was occurring to him to move around to get it. My job is to be fast. If there's a pause and he gets up, he's augmenting it. He's augmenting it. He's saying if that gets it. And then I can go. Once he got up. Again, any more than that other dog starts looking around, they don't think anything. And if you said pushing and doing all these things, so I've got the little sleight of hand going on. Let me see if I can make it happen again just by, that's just a suggestion. It wasn't luring. If you said that was luring, it wasn't luring because I don't use any kind of hand signal for down. It was more, while Krista was running around finding the remote that I apparently just dropped on the floor, I was just kind of sitting here and then I started to fall asleep. My hand fell and he laid down. I'm just going to tell you what it was. He was looking for a suggestion and I was trying to give him one. And you've got to be subtle about it. So I was just being subtle and I was just kind of getting more and more relaxed. And then my arm fell down and he laid down and went bam. All right, so now if he looks, I'm not looking anymore. And later, all right, I'm going to give him the suggestion, so it's just a suggestion. I'm really not even looking at him or saying anything. And I'm going to tell you, he's going to jockey back over to that same position. You tend to repeat. You can see where it's wet right there. That's where he was laying. All right, now watch. I think if I do it this time. And that was my fault. I started the launch sequence too quickly. I'm purposely not looking at it. No, because I'm not, I'm not telling him to do anything. I gotta be careful, because if this one takes off after a butterfly, that'll be a better suggestion. Oh my God, it's panicking, it's panicking. It seems to have opened some sort of a, seems to have opened some sort of a cafe or something. What's going on here? And my job is, again, I'm going to tell you what the release from this, just a natural release. So there it is. There's the release. Release to self. It released itself. And you don't want to over-suggest. But if you said you're not going to be able to go anywhere with this, my answer would be I am. I am. Yeah, boy, here we go. But what I've got is him looking at my hands. Crystal's like, easy, Tom. You guys get the idea. We're going to go get them quieted down. We'll be right back.